critters. We are just here for our first segment of Wacky Wednesday. Miss Rosie's kind of helping me out here. She got that lovely pink shampoo we talked about on Monday all over, so she's kind of a nice soft pink everywhere. She just got done running around the yard here and having a good time while I was getting things set up. So she's just gonna hang out for a few and just settle down and cool down a little bit. But I just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get to our Wacky Wednesday, talk a little bit about what to expect with the channel for those of you who may be new here. So we have 3 different themes going on. We have a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday episode. Mondays are Maintenance Monday, and that's where we're kind of going to have our meat and potatoes, as we're going to talk about grooming tips, hygiene, pet care in general, selecting your pet care professionals so that you can kind of know what to look for and what to ask and what to expect from your groomers, vets, pet sitters, boarding facilities, the various places that, you know, as a pet parent or pet guardian, that you're going to have to take and entrust your pet with stuff that you may not be able to do yourself. So that's going to be our Mondays. Wednesdays are going to be Wacky Wednesdays. They're just going to be fun stuff that we're doing to just kind of hang out, have a good time, pet themed events that I found that I've attended, things that you can go to with your pet, and you know, just some new and fun things. So it's just kind of going to be, you know, living life and enjoying things and just having a good time on Wednesdays. And then our Fridays are going to be Friday Finds, where we are going to share with you just things that I have found that have made life easier, caring for the pets, whether it be grooming related, healthcare related, just in general. You know, maybe it's an awesome pet bed or toy or something that I've come across that my girls have really enjoyed. And then just a reminder, I am mainly going to focus on dogs and cats, mostly dogs probably, as that's the bulk of what I have had the most experience with just over my decades of being in the pet care industry. So that's just kind of a recap there. So without further ado, we'll move on to our Wacky Wednesday. Actually, this past weekend for our Wacky Wednesday, I had the opportunity to attend something that in all my years of grooming that I had not been able to do, which is kind of surprising to many people. But I actually went to a grooming contest where it's groomers that compete together and just kind of showcase their skills. So it's really a lot of fun. It was really neat for me to see that since I hadn't actually been able to attend one, nor, you know, much less participate in one. So it was really kind of neat to see that. This one here was Cali Groom Central is the one that I attended, and I've got some pictures and some little video snippets that I'll share with you guys here in a little bit. But I'm just kind of going to go over what it was and what a grooming contest is and kind of what they're all about. So it was really cool. Like I said, it was Cali Groom Central that I went to. It was hosted by the CPPGA. That's the California Professional Pet Groomers Association. So it is the association in the state that I am in, which is California, obviously. That kind of helps to bring a little more uniformity to the industry. Many people don't know grooming isn't a regulated industry, so that's one of the things that they help do, is kind of set a standard for just ensuring that groomers have education available to them, that, you know, they work with state legislation and lawmakers to put the appropriate requirements and regulations on the industry that aren't going to hinder what we do, but yet make sure that it's safe for your pets. So when your pets do go into that, you know, grooming salon, that they are safe, they are being tended to by professionals that are educated and that have all the resources at their fingertips to ensure that. So it's a really awesome organization. It was, I believe, kind of a pilot organization. There are many other states that have adopted a similar, you know, Professional Pet Groomers Association in various other states throughout the United States. So it's really neat to see that. As somebody who's been in the industry for a long time, I've kind of watched that just kind of develop, and it's been really good to see that. And as a pet parent, I appreciate that too, because it is setting that standard and making sure that the pets are safe when they are in the salon, and that for a lot of us is a big concern. I know as a professional, that was something that I took very seriously, was making sure that the pets in my care were were safe and well cared for and looked after at all times while they were there, as any groomer should and does. So, but that's enough about them. Let's go ahead and move on into what is a grooming contest. So, a grooming contest, it was pretty exciting to see. It's basically where groomers go and compete at various levels. So there's entry, intermediate, and I believe it's advanced, where you kind of are grouped into by class your skill set. So they have the various entry levels. Obviously you've never competed before, maybe you're a newer groomer, and so that just kind of evens the playing field. So everybody in that particular class is kind of equal. Same with intermediate, same with advanced. It just puts everybody kind of on the same level, so that way your skill set is there, so you're competing with your peers. Now, what they're judging on is the groom itself, so they want to make sure that everything is correct, flattering to the dog, a nice groom, the prep work's there, and everything. When I say prep work, that's our bathing and drying, gets the coat and condition and ready for us to go ahead and do our haircuts. And so what you actually see when you're watching a grooming competition, all that prep work has been done, the bathing, the drying. They're bringing a clean, prepped dog to the table to compete, and their haircuts are going to be judged, and that's just being judged on whatever type of clip they're doing. Is it uniform? Is it a nice smooth clip? Is the finish work good? They're going to look at all of that stuff, because that's what gives you a cute haircut when they're leaving the salon. And so it's just kind of a way as groomers that we can up our skill level, compete against our peers, and just have fun sharing and showcasing, what we're passionate about, and that is making pets look gorgeous. So we all enjoy that. So that's just a little bit about kind of what goes on. So we'll go ahead and go to the slideshow, and then I'll wrap it up talking about what all we saw in the slideshow, with the various little pictures and a few video snippets. So we'll see you in just a little bit. much what you got to see there was just a little bit of a snippet of kind of a smaller grooming competition. This one was geared more towards people just getting started. A lot of the bigger, more well-known grooming competitions where you're going to see that creative grooming, you're going to see them broke down into all the various different categories of the entry level, intermediate, advanced, and you're going to have a lot more going on. Breeds, they're divided up into what breeds they're doing, if they're doing freestyle, if they're doing, you know, like the creative, like I said. Poodles are also divided into size. They do take into consideration the size of the dogs when you are doing the contest as to how much time. It is a timed event, so you are allotted so much time to complete your groom, to make sure that it is done in a timely fashion, and that also too makes it fair for everybody who's doing certain size dogs, that it just kind of helps to even that playing field. The other thing that I did want to let people know is, while those dogs some of the larger ones were up on the table, they have like 2 hours and 15 minutes depending on the size. There is a break in between, a 15-minute break for the dogs to get down off the table. They are required to get off the table, go have a little break, stretch their legs, get a drink of water, use the restroom if they need to. Of course, the same thing for the groomers as well. They get a little break in there to go ahead and do that stuff and just tend to some of that stuff. But the entire thing is very much about the pets. When you see the larger ones going on, there will be reps there that are simply proctoring like an exam almost, just to make sure that the pets are never in distress, never uncomfortable. They're properly attended to at all times while they are at the event. As groomers, that's one of the things that we really stress and prioritize as professional pet groomers. That's a big thing for us, is making sure the pets are always safe and always being well cared for while they're in our care. And so that's just a little bit. Then you also saw, so that was one of the images there, was they were measuring one of the miniature poodles just to find out what size, so they knew what time limit was set on that. There's, in the poodle class, there was a toy poodle. They had less time. They had, I believe it was like an hour and 15. And then the miniatures, down. The miniatures had about an hour 45, and then the little bit smaller standards had 2 hours, and the little bit bigger standards had 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that is the time the groomers had to complete their groom, whatever style that they were doing. There's a few different trims that are acceptable when you're doing poodles for grooming competitions. They are a little bit different than what's acceptable in the AKC show ring, and that's just kind of the way it is. You can do the AKC show trims as well, but they also, it is a grooming competition. A lot of pet parents don't necessarily want all that hair, all that frou-frou-ness that you would see with the poodles in the show ring, but that is also a breed standard. And we can talk at some point about where a lot of these haircuts came from. We can learn about breeds if that's something that everybody's interested in. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, so they just have a lot of that. And then you saw some of the little video snippets there of the judge going over, combing through, checking the work. They were going through there and just checking to make sure that everything was even, well combed out, nothing was kind of hidden in there, and that it's a nice, smooth haircut that's going to last for a little while. So they're just kind of checking over all of that, making sure it's even, it's balanced, all of that good stuff is just kind of what they were looking at. And then of course they have the awards at the end. You saw the picture there of the California Professional Pet Groomers logo, and then also some of the ribbons that they have. So they do first through third in each division or each class, and then they also have a best groomed in show, and then they also did a best beginner, so first timer, that it was their first time competing in a grooming competition. And so that was a lot of fun and really exciting. And then they had some sponsors that came alongside them and went ahead and put some prize money in, which is kind of really fun for the groomers. It just gives it a little bit more excitement and just a little more fun for us as groomers to be able to not just get the pretty ribbons as well, but to also go ahead and get some of that prize money. So it's a lot of fun. And it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed my day. you saw some of the snippets there. The girls were there with me, hanging out in their stroller. They were super thrilled about it. As you saw, they were pretty much sleeping through it because, well, they're always in a grooming shop. So for them, it was like, oh, it's just another day. They could hear the scissors going, and we're just like, okay, whatever. And just pretty much snoozed for all of it. But they thoroughly enjoyed their outing. It was also held in conjunction at a dog show. So for next week, we'll be going to an AKC dog show and having fun there. But for this week, it was the grooming competition, and it was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. I'll try to make sure to get them all answered. But tune in on Friday, and we will do our Friday finds. So I hope to see you then. All right, thank you. Bye.